Governor Mitt Romney chased all week by that fun fact that no Massachusetts senator or governor has ever lost a New Hampshire primary in the current format, is set up at Sparks Restaurant in Bedford, where our Ron Allen is standing by. Ron.
Keith, yes, he is a favorite son to some extent because he was the governor from a nearby state. I was struck by how optimistic Mitt Romney was today. He's an optimistic, sunny guy, but he was very bright and upbeat today because they think they finished very strong here over the past weekend, in particular, at two debates that happened, especially the one on Sunday. That was a more intimate forum where he was able to really take on Mike Huckabee and John McCain very face-to-face, and the campaign feels that in that particular setting, Romney seemed to be the smartest guy in the room, and he seemed to be more presidential and more in command than his rivals. And so they think they got a big bounce for that. They're hoping that the undecided Republicans fall their way. They've been making, they said, 100,000 phone calls yesterday, trying to follow up, trying to make sure that those undecideds come to their camp. They're also hoping that all those independent voters here vote for Barack Obama and the Democrats and not John McCain. Now, if that happens, that helps their case somewhat here because they're certainly not going to get many independent voters supporting Mitt Romney. So, again, a feeling of optimism, a feeling that a second place here would be fine as well because they feel that then they'd have a second place here, second in Iowa, a win in Wyoming, and they're heading to Michigan, which is, again, another state where Romney was born. His father was a three-term governor, so they feel like their chances are pretty good there as well.
Is there any doomsday construction there, Ron, in case it's not a good night for the governor? Do they have any is there even that earliest rumble of, well, this is where we may have to get out, or is this jigsaw puzzle for the Republicans so complicated that nobody's thinking about that yet?
I don't think they're thinking about that at all. They haven't given any hint of that at all. And remember, Mitt Romney has a lot of money to go forward. And they've got ads up in Michigan. They've got ads up in a few other states. There's some scuttlebutt about maybe skipping South Carolina down the road, but I haven't really been able to talk to the campaign much about that. At this point, again, they're focusing on here and Michigan next week. And, you know, the bottom line, though, is that they have to come up with a win sometime. You know, they're talking about second place. They're talking about the total number of votes that they've accumulated. But they've got a lot of infrastructure in place in a lot of different states. Nevada is another place where they think they have a pretty good infrastructure in place and they can do well. All the Republicans seem to be hoping that the field is muddled, that they can keep on going. And Romney in particular, I think, feels that if this becomes a real war of attrition, that he can wear down the rest of the field, again, with money and resources.
Ron Allen, who's at the Romney headquarters in New Hampshire. Great, thanks, Ron. We'll get back to you throughout the evening.
Let's bring in the panel now who will be with us all night. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, Newsweek's Howard Fineman, the Washington Post's Eugene Robinson, and the Nation magazine's Katrina and Vanden and Heuvel. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you so much, Chris. You know, let's start with you, Howard. We always try to construct these doomsday scenarios. Hillary Clinton must win Iowa or else. Hillary Clinton must win New Hampshire or else. Mitt Romney must win New Hampshire or he's gone. It's just not that simple, is it?
Well, nothing is ever as simple as we make it in politics. And we don't know, by the way, what the results in New Hampshire are going to be. It's possible that Hillary may have sowed some doubts, that Bill Clinton may have sowed some doubts about Barack Obama. The finish may be closer than we think, which would then, you know, not help Obama. The expectations have gotten so far out for him.
Okay, hold on. You just said the word. Expectations. It happens all the time. Bill Clinton's expectations in 1992, terrible. He loses, and he's still the comeback kid. Well, could Hillary Clinton do the same thing? If she loses by, let's say, 3, 4, 5 points, the Clintons are going to say, momentum's on our side,
well,
right?
Yes, if. And that's true. And on the Republican side, we don't know. I saw John McCain the other day in New Hampshire. He was already taking his victory lap. But this is, I think, going to be a close race between McCain and Romney. So, again, expectations can be something that you can play with.
Katrina, let's talk about the numbers on the Democratic side. The Clinton camp will be happy if they lose to Barack Obama by what?
5, 6, 7 points, 5 points. But I think
they can still claim momentum if they lose by, let's say, 5 or 6.
I think it's tough for Hillary Clinton to call herself a comeback kid. This is a radically different, compressed, front-loaded schedule, and Nevada will go for Obama if he wins by 5 points. You got the Culinary Workers Union ready to endorse him if he wins, and then into South Carolina, a state where, again, he has this grassroots presence, a state that is on the Democratic side, majority African-American, ready to vote for a man. They might have been skeptical about winning, but look at Iowa and New Hampshire, two predominantly white states. So I think you have a lot of momentum on Obama's side, even with the percentage.
And Gene, I suggested over the past couple of days, if Hillary Clinton's blown out here, she should skip South Carolina. I'm told by Democratic Party activists you can't do that without insulting the base.
Yeah, that would be a problem. African Americans are such an important part of the Democratic Party coalition. They are half the Democratic primary voters in South Carolina, and it would seem like a real snub to just bypass South Carolina, the first state where you have a large African American vote. I don't see how she can do it and still have any claim to a constituency that she has to at least split with Barack Obama if she has any hope of getting this nomination.
By the way, she can't split. She can't skip Nevada either, because the same argument applies about labor and Hispanics, which on the Democratic side are key. That's why they put a primary in Nevada, for just that reason.
And I'll tell you what, all those decisions obviously will be affected by tonight. Chris, back to you.
Well, thank you. Keith?
The panel will be with us throughout the evening, and when we come back, Dee Dee Myers and Tom DeLay and many more from New Hampshire and throughout the precincts.
Mr. DeLay.
Yes.